Pour moi, l'océan, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui...
For me, the ocean is truly something that is invincible, and I like to confront this element, and I also like that it manhandles my body, and it's a bit of a battle, where at a given moment I have the impression that when I manage to surf, to ride the wave, I have mastered something. I actually collaborate with my partner who is the wave. That's it.
Avec mon binôme qui est la vague. Voilà, c'est ça.
Surfing has always been a sport that has fascinated me, so I wanted to know what relationship other surfers might have with this practice. So I asked a few questions to Katell and David, two passionate surfers who will share their stories with you.
Je m'appelle Katell, j'ai 50 ans.
My name is Katell, I'm 51 years old, I have 5 children. I'm a project manager, so I work in the innovation field. It's more of an office job, and I've been surfing for 6 years.
Je pratique le surf depuis maintenant 6 ans.
Je suis Dewi Maligorn.
I am Dewi Maligorn. I was born in 76 and I have been surfing in clubs since 2015-2016, keeping in mind that I've always lived near the Atlantic Ocean.
À proximité de l'océan Atlantique. J'ai pas de souvenir particulier la première fois, car
I don't have any particular memories of the first time because I've actually been going into the water since I was a child. So I've always played in the waves, and particularly in the shore break. I still keep a memory of my first time in a club. It wasn't yet spring, so the weather was still, as we know in Brittany, so particularly grey and rainy. Well, it was very choppy. The waves were completely shapeless. A lot of wind. In short, surfing in Brittany is as we know it.
Le surf en Bretagne tel qu'on le connaît.
Alors la petite anecdote, c'est que j'ai vécu en Polynésie.
So the little anecdote is that I lived in Polynesia where my children surfed. I always wanted to surf, but I found myself too old. But I finally started 6 years ago. It was pretty crazy because I found myself in La Torche, which is still a well-known surf spot in Brittany. And I surfed during the Pro Junior at La Torche. So it was completely crazy to surf the waves of La Torche during this event, while there was an international competition taking place at the same time.
Les vagues de la Torche, alors qu'il y avait une compétition internationale qui se déroulait en même temps. Quand je surfe, je coupe mon cerveau. Quand je surfe,
When I surf, I shut off my brain. When I surf, I'm really on the lookout for sensations I'm going to have in my body. It actually frees my brain. I'm really here, present in the world, connected to the ocean. It's something very strong that I'm experiencing in that moment, and I have the impression that in my body, all the little cells are actually waking up. I feel this very, very strongly, and even more so when the water is cold. The act of getting hit by the waves, especially on the face, for example, or on the hands, places where we are not protected by the wetsuit, that does something to me. I immediately enter into communion with the ocean, which is quite a radical feeling. I like surfing in warm water too, but it's different. I think I definitely prefer this feeling of brutal contact with the
je pense
ocean.
que je préfère carrément cette sensation de contact brutal avec l'océan.
Quand je suis dans l'eau, je ne pense pas à grand-chose, justement.
When I'm in the water, I don't think about much, unlike when I'm on land, where I tend paradoxically to be in the sky. In the water, no. I'm just one element among others that tends to find its place in a balance in something bigger than me. And so when I'm on my board, it's as if I'm diluted in this environment. Well, so writing is just one element among others. For me, the most important thing is to be in the water among the elements. Well, then the board is just a medium between the ocean and me. And writing. We could simply translate that as a moment of communion.
Traduire ça par un moment de communion, tout simplement.
Je surfe depuis 6 ans, d'une façon un petit peu différente des autres, puisque moi je suis allongée sur...
I've been surfing for 6 years, in a slightly different way from others, since I'm lying on my board because I have quadriplegia. So I obviously can't stand or sit, so I'm lying on my board and can't surf alone. So I'm always accompanied by a buddy who helps me catch waves and who can compensate for the fact that I can't paddle with my arms, because I don't have enough strength.
Le fait que je ne peux pas ramer, moi, avec mes bras, que j'ai pas suffisamment de force.
Je suis né.
I was born with a motor deficiency, in fact of genetic origin, which affects my motor skills, as well as different organs. And so I surf on my knees or lying down, depending on the conditions, and especially my sensations in the moment.
Du moment.
Ça fait des décennies que ma chanson préférée, c'est Otis Redding et c'est The Dock.
My favorite song for decades has been Otis Redding, The Dock of the Bay. I find that this song really takes me away. For me, it really represents that moment when I want to go surfing. It's a ride, when I'm looking at the waves. I'm in my van, I'm warm, I have my surfboard. I'm never alone anyway, since I'm not surfing alone. But I think it's a moment of silence. It's a moment of meditation. I listen to this song, I feel good, and I look forward to coming into contact with the waves and the ocean. So this song completely takes me away in this moment of sharing and surfing.
Dans ce moment-là de partage et de surf, ouais.